All right, welcome back. The Superintendent of Terrebonne Parish Schools, Philip Martin, back with us for another segment. Philip, let's talk about football. We covered some football this weekend. A lot of people are going, Martin, how can they be playing football at a time like this? Well, my answer to them was, why not? The kids have been through COVID. They've been through, we talk about normalcy, and everybody wants to get back to what we call normal. We're not normal, but let's at least act like we're getting there. Let the kids play sports.
Absolutely. And you know, when someone first mentioned football to me, I have to say my first reaction was, are you kidding me? But after letting the emotions get out of that and realizing the kids want to, the coaches want to, because they realize it's going to be a break in the maybe some of the difficult situations children are in and begin some normalcy. I gave the green light. Now, obviously, South Terrebonne, Ellender can't use their facilities, but and we do have one field that we can use at Terrebonne High, and they're going to be playing a game this Saturday morning. HL and Terrebonne are going to be playing this Saturday.
Now, let me, and I don't want to. I'm not over exaggerating this, but when we're in times like COVID and times like this, if you shut down the kids' ability to have that release, suicides could go up. I am sure at some point y'all have talked to all y'all counselors. At some point, I'm sure they are probably busier than ever. So I know y'all take a lot in consideration when you're talking about either canceling something or going forward with it.
Absolutely. And you know, kids are coming from homes that are stressed. When you've lost your house, or living in a house that you can live in half of the house but not the other half of the house, or you're living with relatives because that creates stress within families, and that manifests itself with kids. It does. They may not show it on the surface, but it does. So the opportunity to somewhat get their mind away from that and either go to a football game, play a game of football, and our coaches can pull it off. And we were very certain to make sure that, look, if kids say, Coach, I just can't make it, that's fine. God bless you. We'll welcome you back when you can get back. So the key words we've been using are flexibility, compassion, and common sense. That's school uniforms. We're taking the same approach with that. That if you don't have a uniform and you don't have access to a uniform, we'll deal with it. Don't worry about it. Come to school.
And that's good because, sometimes I've seen, and I'm not talking about specifically in Terrebonne, anywhere. You can see it on the news, on nightly news or whatever. People push the envelope just because they're empowered to push the envelope.
Right.
Y'all have taken that into consideration, and that's very important because I've seen the damage. Some of these kids no longer have their school clothes. They're gone. So they're probably borrowing clothes or trying to get clothes sent in. That's a dilemma. It really is.
And we want families to know all across Terrebonne Parish that if a child just cannot get to school or go to school, they're not going to be punished, penalized, no truancy court. Now at the same time, we want every child who can go to school, if it's not in a school uniform, please do, because we do think in the long run, and all leading child psychologists and child experts agree, school is a healthy place for their social well-being. So they need to be in school. And I think it's going to help parents that for 8 hours a day, their child is with someone they know is being taken care of, being fed in a safe place, because they have a lot to deal with and contend with at their homes, trying to patch back together a roof over their heads. So like we said earlier, it won't be perfect, but the upsides are many. There are many more positive things if we can get children back in school as soon as we can, and that's our goal.
What about two minutes left to go? And I've always said during a storm, it's easy for someone who's not in the mix, and I'll just say it, to get on Facebook and criticize and say, well, that's not fair. I can't believe we're doing that. But until you're in the mix, until you're in the blender, and you're seeing everything that's swirling around, there's so many variables to consider. How tough has this been for a superintendent just relocating the schools because of the damage?
It's been incredibly challenging, but I have to say that I've had so much help in doing that. My staff and school system employees, they are the ones who've done the heavy lifting. And it is so many moving parts, just an incredible amount of moving parts. But to say it's been challenging, it has been. Some are saying, I bet you would wish you'd retired at the end of last June. And I have to say every now and then that thought does creep in. But no, I'm here till we're healed, until we are.
But I'm looking ahead. I'm trying to be the optimist here. When it's all said and done, you'll have completed a manual for the next superintendent on, hey, if we're ever faced with this again, this is what we did.
Yeah, I called my counterpart in Calcasieu, Lake Charles, Paul Brookhouse, and said, send me the playbook. He said, I wish there was one. He said, you take each day is different. And he did tell me, right when you think you've got things figured out, he said, you will find something you didn't know. Right. And that has been the most prophetic thing that he said, that we think we get to school, we get this done, we're good to go, only to discover, no, there's something else.
And it could be so simple that just when I think we have things under control here, and I walk outside and I say, all right, things are starting to turn the corner. Somebody goes, Martin, you got a flat tire in your car.
Well, we've been having a lot of flat tires. We've been having a lot of flat
You're
tires.
Right. All right, keep pumping them up, though. We appreciate it, Philip. Thank you for your efforts. Philip Martin, the Superintendent of Schools in Terrebonne Parish, will be back with more. Don't go away.